Daisy was a fluffy yellow duckling. She had bright eyes and a wobbly walk. Daisy loved to play. She loved to splash in the water. She loved to roll in the mud. Most of all, Daisy loved to have fun.
I love playing so much.
Daisy wasn't very careful. She often forgot where she put things. She left her toys scattered around. Mama Duck often reminded Daisy to be careful, but Daisy was too busy having fun. One sunny morning, Daisy played by the pond. She splashed and giggled. She chased butterflies and dragonflies. Daisy's feathers were wet. Her beak was covered in mud.
This is so much fun.
Daisy, you must be more careful. All this mess makes it hard to find things.
But Daisy didn't listen. She was too busy having fun. As Daisy played, she saw something shiny. It was a beautiful pebble. It sparkled in the sunlight. Daisy had never seen anything so pretty. She picked it up with her beak and admired it.
Look what I found, Mama.
Daisy quacked excitedly. She showed Mama Duck the pebble. Mama Duck was impressed.
It's beautiful, Daisy, but you must be careful not to lose it.
Daisy continued to play with the pebble in her beak. She loved the way it felt smooth and cool against her tongue. It was her favorite toy, and she never got tired of playing with it. She tossed it up in the air and caught it with a quick snap of her beak. It was a game she had perfected over time, and she felt a sense of pride every time she caught it. She rolled it on the ground, watching it spin and wobble. The pebble seemed to have a life of its own, and Daisy was fascinated by its unpredictable movements. She even tried to balance it on her head. It was a tricky feat, but Daisy was determined. She wobbled a bit but managed to keep it steady for a few seconds. Suddenly, the pebble slipped from her beak. Daisy's heart skipped a beat as she watched it fall. It bounced once and disappeared. Daisy couldn't believe her eyes. One moment it was there, and the next it was gone.
My pebble, where did it go? Daisy's voice was filled with panic. She had never lost her pebble before.
Cried Daisy. She looked around frantically, her eyes scanning every inch of the ground. She couldn't imagine playing without her beloved pebble. Mama Duck rushed over to help. She had seen the whole thing and knew how much the pebble meant to Daisy.
Don't worry, Daisy. We'll find it together. Mama Duck's voice was calm and reassuring, and Daisy felt a little better.
They searched high and low. Mama Duck and Daisy combed through the grass, their eyes sharp and focused. They looked under leaves and behind rocks. Every nook and cranny was inspected, but the pebble was nowhere to be found. Daisy was starting to lose hope, but Mama Duck kept encouraging her to keep looking. But the pebble was nowhere to be found. Daisy sat down sadly, her tiny heart heavy with disappointment. She felt tears welling up in her eyes, each drop reflecting her sorrow and regret.
I lost it, she whispered to herself, her voice barely audible over the gentle rustling of the leaves. I lost my beautiful pebble, the one that sparkled in the sunlight and made me so happy.
Mama Duck put a wing around Daisy, her touch warm and comforting.
I know you're sad, dear, she said softly, her voice filled with understanding and love. But this is why we must be careful, she continued, her tone gentle yet firm. When we are careless, we lose things, and sometimes we can't find them again, no matter how hard we try. And sometimes we can't find them again, she repeated, hoping the lesson would sink in.
Daisy nodded sadly, her little head drooping with the weight of the lesson. She understood what Mama Duck was saying, the words echoing in her mind. She realized that being careless had consequences, and that she needed to be more mindful in the future. From that day on, Daisy tried her best to be careful. She remembered the day she lost her favorite pebble and how sad it made her feel. It was a small thing, but it meant the world to her. She didn't want to lose anything else that she loved. She kept her toys in a neat pile. Each toy had its own special place, and she made sure they were all accounted for. She even created a little system to keep track of them, making sure nothing went missing. She paid attention to where she put things. Whether it was her toys, her food, or even the pebbles she liked to collect, Daisy made sure everything was in its right place. She knew that being organized helped her find things easily and kept her from losing them. and she never forgot the lesson she learned from the lost pebble. It taught her the importance of being mindful and careful with her belongings. She realized that even the smallest things could have great value. She realized that being careful wasn't about missing out on fun. She could still play and enjoy herself, but now she did it with a sense of awareness. She made sure to keep an eye on her surroundings and her things. It was about appreciating the things she had and keeping them safe. Daisy learned to cherish her toys and her pebbles, understanding that they were special because they were hers. She took pride in taking care of them. And so, Daisy the duckling learned a valuable lesson about being careful, all thanks to a lost pebble and a loving Mama Duck. Mama Duck had always taught her to be mindful, but it was the experience of losing something she loved that truly made the lesson stick. She was still playful and full of energy. Daisy loved to splash in the pond, chase after butterflies, and explore the world around her. Her playful spirit was as strong as ever, but now she balanced her fun with a newfound sense of responsibility. She knew that she could enjoy her adventures while also being careful. It was a balance that made her feel happy and secure, knowing that she was taking care of the things she loved.